Welcome to Rough Riders, I'm Jay Taylor. It's brisket time, so stick around. A couple of years ago I posted a video where my buddy Keith, a third generation pitmaster, walked me through how to smoke a brisket in the Bradley electric smoker. Now I've only done one other brisket since then and it came out okay. I didn't actually record that one because I was worried I was going to screw it up since it was my first time doing it on my own. But now we're getting ready to do another one, and so I'm going to see if I can replicate the results we got with Keith helping me out. This time all by myself, so let's get started. This time I'm going to do things just a little bit different. Instead of using mustard, I'm going to use molasses. According to Keith, it's supposed to change the flavor profile a little bit, make it just a little bit sweeter. So we're gonna try that out and use that as the binding agent. And then I'm using a homemade rub it's part of it's from a rub from a company called Meat Church Congregation. If you haven't seen their stuff, go check it out. They got some great rubs there. But I didn't have enough of that, so I whipped up a batch of some of my own stuff as well. And we're going to use that to season it, and we're going to do that right now. Since this is a messy job, I'm going to put on some gloves because, yeah, I don't want to get sticky hands. The other thing we're going to do is, I don't think I need to trim any of the fat because it looks like it's already got a decent fat cap on it, and so I don't think I need to trim any of that back. I think it's got just the right amount, but I am going to score the top of it. And if you guys saw my other video, you'll be happy to know that I got Cutco knives now. So I got some nice sharp knives. I got a lot of comments before about the previous knives I was using, or that I handed to Keith. So we're scoring it to open it up so that the molasses can get down into the meat along with the seasoning. And I'm taking it just down to the meat. And then we're just going to be real generous with the molasses. And we're going to be real generous with the rub as well. We're going to give that a minute, then we'll flip it over and get the other side. Okay, we're going to flip this over and do the other side now. Now this is a 10.5 pound brisket, and according to Keith's comment in the other video, he said that you can expect them to cook 1 hour and 15 to 1 hour and a half per pound. So based upon that, this should take 12.5 to roughly 15 hours to cook. But then our last one was a 14 pound brisket, and that finished out in like 12 hours. So we're just going to keep an eye on it with the thermometer, with the meat probe, and pull it at the right time. Just trying to make sure it gets good and covered. We'll let that soak in. And while we're doing that, let's go take a look at the Bradley so you can see how I have that set up. Okay, so I've got the top shelf is where I'm going to put the brisket. And then I skip a shelf and then add a bowl of water on the next shelf down. I use the bowl there so that the smoke would be easier to get around the bowl and up into the brisket. Then down in the bottom, I've got another bowl of water in a square pan, in a baker's pan actually. That's full of water to catch the coals. And then I will periodically check both water pans and refill as necessary. Then over on the biscuit side, I've got 18 biscuits of oak. I'm trying oak because actually it's all I've got. I've got that and apple, and apple just didn't seem right, so I'm using the oak instead. And I'm planning on smoking it for 6 hours, and then I'll set the timer for a good 15, 20 hours, whatever the max is time I can set it. And then I will just keep an eye on the temperature of the brisket. So that's how I've got the Bradley set up. So while I'm waiting for the right time to start this, I'm going to probably start it around 11 o'clock tonight and then just smoke it overnight. So that's the current plan. Okay, we're ready to put this in. The brisket is all seasoned up and ready to go in. I got it on the tray. I did have to squish it in a little bit, but that's okay because it will shrink up when we cook it, and it'll fit in there just perfect. So that's fine. I've got my probe in there with the temperature set to let us know when to pull it out. I did make one slight adjustment on the setup in the Bradley. I did lower the water pan down one shelf, and I'm going to lower the brisket down one shelf, get a little bit more room since I've crunched this up. So with that, it's pretty much ready to go in. I've had the Bradley coming up to temp for the past about hour or so. So it's finally up to temp, and we're ready to pop this in. It's a little cold outside right now. It's supposed to get into the high 30s tonight, so that may impact our cook time, but we're going to see how this thing does. It's 11:06 at night, so we're going to pop this in now, and then we'll check it first thing in the morning. So let's go pop this in. Okay, it's 6:55 in the morning. We're getting ready to go check the brisket. And I've got a cup of water ready because I'm assuming I'm going to need to refill one of those pans. Especially the one with the brisket coals in it, because that's going to soak up a lot of water. So let's go take a look at and see what's going on with the brisket. Okay, so our oven temp is 229, so it's cooking right about the right temp. The thermometer saying that we've reached 178, so it looks like we've cleared the stall. And we're going to pull it at 195. I'm going to open it up here and take a quick look inside. Ooh, it looks like it's developing a pretty nice bark on it. My top pan looks okay. My bottom pan is definitely dry. We're going to go get a bit more water. I'm going to move that probe around and see how we're looking there. So let me go fill up the cup with some more water. So the probe is still reading 178 in the new location. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to spin the brisket around inside, and so that way it's getting a nice even cook all the way through. So let me go grab some gloves and turn it around. Okay, so we just checked the brisket, and it looks like it's ready to pull. So we're going to go ahead and pull it out, wrap it up in the foil, wrap it up in the towel, and then put it in the cooler and let it rest for 2 to 3 hours, and then it should be about ready to serve. So let's go get it pulled. Okay, so there it is, ready to wrap. It's got a beautiful bark on it. It looks like it's going to be quite good. Get it on the foil, get it wrapped up. Now we're going to wrap it in the towel. Place it in the cooler. And we'll let it sit for probably 2 to 3 hours, and then we'll pull it out and see how it came out. Okay, now for the moment of truth, the unveiling. Let's see how it came out. Got that beautiful bark. And it's looking really moist. And it's just starting to fall apart. So I think it came out pretty well. Well, recipe works. I think I replicated the results we got with Keith. So yeah, really happy with how it turned out. So anyway, there you go. There's how to smoke a brisket in the Bradley or in any other smoker that you might be using. And if you got any questions, feel free to post those below. And thanks for watching the video. If you liked the video, please consider subscribing, give it a thumbs up, and we'll see you next time here on Rough Riders.